Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the Knatters Knits podcast. This is episode 29. We're getting through them really fast, aren't we? And today is Sunday the 17th of April 2016. It's a gorgeous day today and I did play with the idea of actually filming outside, but there's quite a lot of railway works going on outside, so I decided it probably wouldn't be such a good idea. Today I'm being brought to you by my usual cup of tea in my, ouch, that's hot, sheepy mug, and it's just ordinary builder's tea today. Excuse me slurping. So, how have you been? What sort of a week have you had? Well, I'll tell you a little bit more about my week later on. It has been an amazing week, an absolutely amazing week. But first of all, let's get on with the knitting, as this is a knitting show. To start with, we'll do all the usual pleasantries instead of the housekeeping of the fire alarms are going to go off and that sort of thing. I'll tell you that you can find me as Knatters Knits pretty much everywhere on the internet. I'm Knatters Knits on Ravelry, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Hello, anywhere else you can think of really. And if I'm not, backsy it for me, will you? I am looking forward to seeing more posts from everybody on the Knatters Knits group on Ravelry. If you've never found the group, if you go to the groups tab once you've logged in, you can search for the groups, and it's just Knatters with a K, Knits with a K, and that's it, and it's dead easy to find. So that's me and wherever I am. I haven't been on social media very much this week, and I'll explain a little bit more why later on. So the sad news is FOs, there aren't any this week because it has been manic, but you'll understand why when I tell you what I've been up to. My works in progress, I have 3 to show you. I started a baby blanket out of some hayfield yarn a while back, and this is my progress so far. It's come on quite slowly, mainly because I'm on a garter stitch section and I got bored. I got very, very bored. It does me well in that it sits nicely in front of the TV and I can do it then, or I can do it, you know, when there's nothing else to do. But other than that, to be honest, I haven't done a lot on it. My next work in progress is my cowl, and that's in this Countess Ablaze yarn. There you go. This is a Byzantium, the English Gentleman DK, and it's 50% Blueface Leicester and 50% Masham. There's 240 metres in 100 grams, and that's this one here. It's black with all sorts of browns. There's a little bit of pinky purple in it. All sorts of lovely, lovely colours. Let's see if I can put it that way. That's better, isn't it? Get rid of some of the light shining on it. There we go. It's just a 1x1 rib and some garter stitch on the ends to stop it from curling over, really. There's nothing more to say about it than that. And that's that one. This has been with me on my travels this week. Got a little bit of love, but not a huge amount. And then my third work in progress is a new one. I don't know if I showed you this yarn before, but this is what Ellie from the FO and Dye podcast gave me when I went down to see her. And my computer's gone slow on me, never mind. Hopefully you'll be able to see this one. All sorts of different pinks and reds. And as you can tell, I only cast on last night. But it's quite a nice change in colours from red to pink. I'm on the pink section at the moment, and this is a pattern that I got on Ravelry. Let's see if I can show you. There, by Martina Behm, called 22.5 degrees. I don't know if shrinking it up a bit will show you better. But that's that one. And once you've got the hang of the pattern. It's quite simple to do, but it does look rather nice, so I'm quite pleased with that one. So that's all that I've been working on this week, and now I have a confession. For those of you that have watched the last couple of episodes, you will know that I started a spring treat cowl that's been run by Sweater Freak Knits, and unfortunately I really haven't got on with it very well. I started it and I've ripped it out. I am going to start again. There's nothing the matter with the pattern, and there's nothing the matter with the design as far as I can tell, because I haven't seen much of it because I've ripped it out. It's not down to them, it's just due to the very nature of what I've been up to in the last week or so, being very tired and not having the concentration span. So I do intend to start it again, although I'm not sure when at the moment. Okay, stash enhancement. The yarn diet has gone, completely gone, and I now have to stop buying because with the amount of hours that I'm going to be working, there's just no way that I'm going to get through everything that I've already got for a while. But I did, just before I got the job, buy a couple of things. So let's show you this one first. This one came all the way from the States, and after I'd released it from customs at a charge, I got this one. This is a Freckled Whimsy bag. Lovely handle, nice sturdy, good quality fixings. Sometimes, you know, you get things that are quite lightweight, but this is heavy duty, and inside it continues that pattern. Now the aroma coming from this bag is just something else. To start off with, this was a kit, it was sold as a kit, but there were so many different things in there as well. So, little freebie. It's a cow, and impregnated into the cow are some seeds. And it says here, thank you so much from Mustache Yarns, Freckled Whimsy and Tuft Woolens. Please enjoy these farm fresh seed shapes as our thanks. And it gives you instructions on how to do it. And apparently there were different ones in the kit depending on which one you got. So the cow has tomato seeds in it, the goat has parsley, the rabbit basil, the pig has got dill, the lamb has got basil, and the chickens have got green bell pepper seeds. So that was that one. And then what else have I got in here? Business card from Freckled Whimsy. And inside there is also a code for me, which I must get a wriggle on and use, because it's halfway through April. It runs out at the end of April. Then there's a bar. This is honeycomb sock soap, sorry. And you can see the tuft with a picture of the sheep, to use as a wool wash. And oh, it smells, you can smell the honey. It's saponified oils of olive, coconut and palm, water, lanolin and essential oils. And I'm going to leave it in the bag to make my wool smell nice. It is lovely. And then there's another one, which again is another Tuft Woolens, but this one is for me, not for the wool. And again, smells really nice. And the yarn that came with it is this one. Excuse me. And this is from Stacey of Mustache Yarns. Excuse me. I've got a right old tickle. And this is her perfect sock in the Daily Eggs colourway, and it's one of her OCD skeins. And for those of you that haven't heard about these, Stacey, who has the Mustache podcast and used to do it with a partner, but their partners had to drop out, dyes 2 skeins identical. So there's actually two halves wrapped up here together. Excuse me, sorry. And these two so that you can actually do an identically matching pair of socks, so there's no wastage. You can start at the beginning and ideally you would work through, and they are exactly the same. The colourways are nice, I do like those, quite muted. There's a little bit of a red freckle through it, and browns and creams and greens and blues, very pastel, very pretty. So that is my Freckled Whimsy bag, moustache yarns and tuft woolens. So that one was rather nice to get. The next one is a bag. As you all know, I really have a thing for Debs of fondant fibre, and this is the bag I got from her. Again, this one was sold as a kit. Beautiful, two different sorts of materials. There's bluebells along the bottom here, and then woodland scene at the top. And just as usual, Debs has excelled herself. There's a little pull on the zipper. I don't know how well you can see that. There we go. It's a branch with a little flower on it. That's pretty. And inside here, because we British know how to do things, there's some knitter's soap called Bluebell Woods, appropriately. Sorry for the crinkling. Or should I say sorry, not sorry? And it does smell beautiful. There's some peppermint and licorice tea from Pucker. And there are two skeins of this gorgeous, gorgeous Bluebell Woods Superfine Merino 4-ply, 100 grams worth. Really, really nice. And being merino, of course, it's very, very soft. It looks as if on washing it has actually plumped up a bit, which is no bad thing because you know how I like my yarns double knitting or more. So even though this is 4-ply, I think this will be rather nice. And there isn't just one skein of this, there are two. And what I did was I actually unwrapped the second one so you could see, because sometimes I don't think you get the full effect of a skein of yarn and the colours that are in it when it's wound up. So here we go. Really dark greens in places. And it is more green than that. That's showing up yellow, but it is darker green actually. Light blues, speckled blues. Lovely, lovely and soft. So I've got about 800 yards, I reckon, of this, and I'm not sure what to make. I think the colours would be quite nice as a shawl or a scarf of some sort. 800 yards. I was thinking about making a little top. I'm not entirely sure because I don't know how the colourway is going to play out. But that's those. That one down there with that. And also in the bag were some gorgeous, gorgeous. I love the way Deb sends her packages. Look, you've got a little bag to put your stitch markers in, and then there's the Tree of Life. A little owl. Really cute. Everything that would go in a Bluebell wood, really. A lovely, lovely little squirrel. No, stand up, that's better. And of course, if you have a squirrel, you have to have an acorn. And then a little bluebell. And to cap it all off, she'd also made her progress keeper, which was attached to the yarn, which is a bit more sparkly. Very similar to the other one, but obviously different because it's got this green bead there. Lovely. Really lovely kit. I've lost all my show notes now. That's clever, isn't it? So excuse me while I put these back in their bag, because I have a habit of losing things if I, oops, like that. If I don't, I have to pick that one up later. Right, so let's grab my show nuts just for a minute. Sorry about that, folks. And that's all that I have in the way of knitting. I have had a busy week though. As you will remember, I didn't actually podcast last weekend because I spent last weekend down south with my daughter, and it was her baby shower. I caught the train really early on Saturday morning, and several changes, and I'm talking about 4 changes of trains. I eventually got there, jumped in a car, and we headed off to the baby shower. And after a little bit of a kerfuffle trying to get actually into the hotel because we couldn't see the entrance, it wasn't very well marked, we got in there and there was a wedding party going on, and tucked in the corner was the baby shower. And I met Rachel's mother-in-law, who I've met before. Hi Karen, if you're watching. I also met the 3 girls that would be the bridesmaids at Rachel's wedding a couple of years ago, and we'd met up several times before, and they were the ones that actually organised the baby shower. I also met one of Rachel's colleagues from work who's fairly recently had a baby, and 2 girls who are the other halves of Rachel's, I was going to say boyfriend then, husband, Graham. And these girls, their other halves, teach in the same department as Graham. So we were a nice select little group. We did a very English baby shower, because baby showers aren't traditionally UK. I don't know about in Canada or in other places, but I always associate baby showers with America. So we did something very British. We had tea and cakes, very civilised. Lots and lots of little sandwiches, little cakes. But of course, it wouldn't be a baby shower without a bit of fun as well. And knowing how naughty the girls were, I was a little bit worried, but I needn't have been. It was really good fun. We played some games. I was going to bring something to show you, but never mind. We had prizes. One of the games was guess the cost of everything that was on this shopping list, and obviously they were all baby related. I didn't do too badly, but considering that I used to work in a rather large supermarket, not very well at all. But you know, it was what it was. It was good fun, and the nice thing was Rachel got to keep everything that was actually bought in the shopping basket at the end of it, so she won. There were a couple more games as well, which I did appallingly at, but that was the baby shower. And then, because it was Saturday afternoon, we did what most British people do. We went and watched some sport. It was the first time I'd ever in my life been to a rugby match and Graham was playing. It was cold, it was wet, it was hailing, snowing, sleeting. Oh, but it was good fun. I did enjoy watching it, and despite the fact that Graham's team didn't win, it was a nice, enjoyable afternoon. Then after that, we went back to Rachel's and Graham's house for a while, went into town and had something to eat in the evening, and then on the Sunday we went out and had some lunch, and that was really nice too. And then my new, very interesting week began, because I then left them and caught the train and went all the way up to Birmingham, and across Birmingham to a hotel where I was being put up overnight, and on the Monday morning I started my new job. So I am now officially a trainer. I train people in most mandatory subjects in healthcare provision, so usually in care homes and nursing homes. And yeah, it was interesting. I went to head office. I went and picked up my new company car. Wow. I'm used to driving little cars. This is big and luxurious, and probably the nicest car I've ever had. However, therein lies a tale, and if you've got a couple of minutes I'll tell you about it, because I don't know, I feel a prat. Right, So I've driven manual cars for the last 30 plus years, and they're what everybody else in the rest of the world will call stick shift. I have never driven an automatic before. I have never had a keyless entry car before either. So you can imagine the fun and games when, after my first day, I went to get in my car and I said to my boss, "No, it's all right, you go, I want to familiarise myself with the car." I familiarised myself with the car. It took 40 minutes to work out how to start the engine. And then after that, another few minutes or so, and I'm not going to admit to any more how long it took, to try and get the brakes to work, to get the lights on, to work out why things were doing the things they were doing, why lights were coming on the panels in the car. Yes, it was a very steep learning curve, but I eventually got back to the hotel and promptly fell asleep after dinner and stayed asleep till the next morning. I was shattered, absolutely shattered. The next day, I had the great honour of being introduced to the chief executive, a CEO, a really nice man, really nice man. And I'm not just saying that, he really was lovely. Had took time to listen, gave considered answers. I was very impressed. I mean, I was impressed with the company anyway, and that's why I applied for the job. But I was really impressed with him too. Really nice. And I just feel as if I've joined part of a team that cares, that are good at their jobs and want to excel, and that is something that's really nice. So I'm really proud to be working for the company. I collected the rest of my equipment and then did a little bit of work planning and preparing, because the next day I was going to be teaching, and then head off up the motorway, which is commonly known as the M6 car park. What the sat-nav says should take 2 hours took 4, but that's the nature of the beast where I live, I think. It's always going to be like that because the traffic is pretty horrendous. It's not quite as bad as driving around London, but almost. So after that, I went home. When I got home, I crashed out, went to sleep. Next morning, I went off to Huddersfield to do some training and met with a really nice bunch of guys, and trained with them all day. And it's like riding a bike. I haven't done it for a little while, but it happened. They all came out having learned what they needed to, having enjoyed it, I think, from what their feedback told me. Yeah, and it was interesting. And again, on Thursday I did some more teaching. On Friday I went back to head office, and on the way back from head office I just kept thinking, please don't stop me, please don't stop me, because I've got 4 resuscitation dummies in the car of different ethnic origins, and you know, if you looked too carefully at the car, you could think that I got 4 people squeezed into 3 seats. Yeah, it's been a good week. I've really enjoyed it. Consequently, I was absolutely shattered yesterday and must have slept for hours and hours and hours. But I really enjoyed it. The only thing I'm missing is not doing quite so much knitting because I have been so tired. Hopefully, once the newness of the job wears off, I will be able to get back to doing a little bit more knitting. And one of the reasons I actually cast on the pattern by Martina Behm is because it's not mindless, but it isn't going to challenge me. It's not an intricate lace where I'm going to have to concentrate or anything like that, really. So that was that one. Yeah, and that brings us back up to today. So here I am, sat in my very messy craft room, which is now also my office because I'm based at home and I work from home now. And that's about it. I don't think I've got any more to tell you, really. You've seen what I've had to sort of acquire. You've seen the projects I've done, and I think you can probably see how tired I look. Anyway, that's about it from me for this week. I hope you've had a great week. I look forward to speaking to you again next week, and stay safe, take care, and thanks for watching. Bye.